Part 8 of Tuka Tukaram. One cannot point to love, one cannot speak of it, one's mind understands its own experience. No mother's milk feeds a baby tortoise, it grows in its shell by its mother's grace. Who tells an unborn snake to hide itself as soon as it emerges from an egg? Deaf mute cannot speak, but innately knows the difference between sweet and salt. Says Tuka, ask your own mind what's good for you. Don't consult those big experts. Don't crush a flower to possess its fragrance. Don't eat a baby because you love it. Don't try to lick the liquid glow of a pearl. Don't break a musical instrument to find out its sound. Don't covet the reward. For doing your own duty, says Tuka. Oh, people, I'm telling you a principle. The main message is absolutely clear. This whole world is God. First scatter your own ego to the winds, then you will pass the crucial test. This is the one decisive thing to know about absolute being, says Tuka. Once the mind is blown up, there is neither a cause nor an effect. God drinks up the temple, makes all water dry. This is neither my personal view nor some occult quiz. God drinks up the temple, makes all water dry. This is neither my personal view nor some occult quiz. See it for yourself. The trickle becomes the deluge, flooding rivers and oceans. The child born to the sterile woman wears a single ring and 2 ears. Says Tuka, to experience freedom from space, one must taste the flavor of sweetness itself. It isn't what you do, it isn't what you think, it isn't what people are aware of, it isn't what your heart feels, it isn't what troubles and tires you, nor is it an ill omen. All these are only words. It isn't what suddenly besieges you, nor is it what runs naked in the streets. Says Tuka, see it simultaneously. Spontaneous being is always one and the same. The art of seeking takes different forms, but cream is churned only to separate the butter. The empty space between a bird and a fruit is never an obstacle for a bird. Devotion is a full and final statement. You get what you pay for, and that's it. Says Tuka, I saved bit by bit for a long time. Today I have paid in full. That's nice. I like that poem. He likes that one. The art of seeking takes different forms, but cream is churned only to separate the butter. The empty space between a bird and a fruit is never an obstacle for a bird. Devotion is a full and final settlement. You get what you pay for, and that's it. Says Tuka, I have saved bit by bit for a long time. Today I have paid in full. Sometimes one must let one's life flow like water finding its way. Sometimes one may lie in bed of luxury. Sometimes one has to become what time demands of one. Sometimes it is a gourmet's feast laid out. Sometimes stale breadcrumbs of sheer survival. Sometimes one travels in a comfortable vehicle. Sometimes one goes barefoot all the way. Sometimes one gets to wear the choicest garments. Sometimes one has to wear tattered clothes. Sometimes one has all the wealth in the world. Sometimes one has to brave dire straits. Sometimes one meets saintly people. Sometimes one has to suffer the company of villains. Says Tuka, know it well. Joys and sorrows must be equal on one scale. Tired mourners also cry without tears or feelings. Likewise, devotion to God can be mere whitewash. Forced labor pretends to work hard only to run away at the first chance. Says Tuka, the spark of a glowworm cannot kindle a flame. Glowworm. Fake fire. Choose the route that reaches where you want to go. Do not go by mere hearsay. Listen to me. Doesn't your inner feeling know its way? No virgin knows what it is to deliver a child. There's no alternative to experience. Says Tuka. Remain intent. Clouds will wither, the sun will shine. If one stands up to argue or fight, one gets into a mess. You think we should argue and fight? If one stands up to argue or fight, one gets into a mess. Reeds don't need to exert any force of their own, they accept the force of water. If one tries to be tough, one meets one's match. The humble stay out of trouble. Says Tuka, blend with all and you'll join a global family. That's one way to stay out of trouble. That's his approach. Very smart. If you want to make love to fire, don't hesitate to sleep on a pyre. Once you set your heart upon it, it matters little if you'd burn or live. Nothing will attack you here except fear. The shaky warrior finds his weapon too heavy to bear. Says Tuka, cannot be said. Says Tuka, I cannot be said to have made up my mind unless I have absolute faith. That was Tuka on philosophy and being. And he's a heavyweight dude, I guess. He's like heavy. But he's only a simpleton. He's just a poor low-caste poet. Born 1608. Penguin Classics. Read on. Oh, it's a few days until Buddha's birthday, but guess he's not a Buddhist, is he? The Buddha's. They celebrate Buddha's birthday on about the 12th, similar to Mother's Day. Remember that Hanrahan monastery in Flushing with all the candles? They're going to celebrate probably Buddha. But we're reading Tuka. Tuka is from India. He's more of like a bhakti poet, marathi poet.